Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I am your host, Bastion. This is Nintendo News. Let's get to that news, shall we? First of all, it was bound to happen, and it did. People are trying to recreate the recipes from Breath of the Wild. In case you haven't been playing Breath of the Wild or don't know much about it, instead of collecting hearts by chopping down grass and whatever, you've got to eat food. And just the raw food itself isn't usually enough to restore much more than a heart or two, depending on the type of food. So if you cook a bunch of food together and make meals, you get a lot more hearts back. This leads me to wonder, where the heck is Link keeping all of this food? Does he have little Tupperwares in his bag somewhere where he has all these different meals? Like he's doing meal planning like a bodybuilder or something? He's got his little Tupperware of his rice and his chicken and his broccoli. Very amusing to think about, but... Anyways, I have been kind of curious about some of these meals, trying to recreate them, but I realized that's not really my forte. I cook a little bit, but I'm not super good at it or anything, so I'm more than happy to let other people take a stab at it. So somebody tried one of the more important meals from it, which is the spicy pepper steak. Well, actually, I was confusing that. I was thinking of that actually is one of the super important meals that you have to learn. It's not, but anyways, the point is somebody took a stab at it, and if you want to watch a video about their success or failure, there's a link down there for you. Our next story is tricky to talk about on a family-friendly channel. It's about the fact that it looks like Nintendo surely accidentally, referenced an adult film with some Switch materials. Apparently there's this meme in Japan from this Japanese adult film of somebody holding their phone or something like that in a specific pose, and it looks like Nintendo, well aware of the meme, but probably not where the meme originated from, recreated that same image in black and white as a drawing. I think I'll have both images up here because there's nothing lewd about either image. They look identical, right? The same pose, the way they're holding the phone, and everything about it looks identical. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this Nintendo purposefully copying this photograph? And if so, do you think Nintendo knew where this photograph was from? Or did they just think it was a meme, a G-rated meme? Let me know in the comments down below. So if you wanted to purchase a standalone dock for your Switch, like let's say you've got an upstairs room and a downstairs room, and you don't feel like, you got TVs in two separate rooms, you don't feel like having to unplug the dock and bring it upstairs to attach to that TV, you can buy an additional dock if you want, and it's kind of not super expensive. It's $60, which frankly, as far as I understand what the dock does, it seems like all it does is plugs into the tablet thing and then outputs that to the TV. Seems like that should be like $20 or whatever, but maybe there's something additional going on in there that I'm forgetting about, like something that boosts the CPU or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, $60 isn't too much though. If that's a big problem, if you don't like unplugging it and taking it upstairs or downstairs in the basement or whatever, you don't have to. You can buy one from Nintendo's own website for $60. And speaking of the Switch JoyCons, well, we weren't talking about those before, but anyway, speaking of them, they work for your PC apparently. Now you can have 2 extra controllers that you can use to play games on your PC. Things like, old school NES or Super Nintendo multiplayer games. You can play Secret of Mana with these 2 Joy-Cons. That's pretty cool. If you want to figure out how to do that, there's a link down there for you. And our final story is something that I usually kind of pass up when I'm scrolling through this Nintendo news stuff. Did you know gaming, I've kind of a little over these days, because every time I watch a video, I'm like, yeah, I already knew that. I guess it's fun to let somebody tell me it again. Well, in this instance, there were a lot of things that, frankly, if I did know, I've totally forgotten because my memory is not the best. And it's about A Link Between Worlds and the development process to get to where it ended up. I remembered some of these aspects, things like originally Miyamoto wanted it to be a remake of A Link to the Past, but Mr. Aonuma is super anti-remake. In case you did not know that, that's why Skyward Sword HD is iffy. So he was like, no, we're not doing a remake of A Link to the Past. But eventually he was convinced into sort of doing a remake of A Link to the Past by because basically what Mr. Miyamoto wanted is to use the 3D feature of the 3DS and like have a nice new remake of A Link to the Past that let you see the depth of the 3D. And Mr. Aonuma said, no, I don't like doing remakes. We're not doing any more remakes. And so then they came up with this new idea of Link merging into the wall. And Mr. Miyamoto was like, yeah, so you could use the pre-existing landscape of A Link to the Past and have him merge into those and discover new features and new places. And it doesn't have to be a remake. It can be a new story. And Mr. Aonuma was like, okay. So anyways, fun stuff like that. I already knew that aspect, but things that happened even before that, I'm a little rusty on or did not know at all. So I find it very interesting myself. If you're interested in that kind of thing, there's a link down there for that video for you. But anyways, that's it for this episode of Nintendo News. See you guys probably tomorrow or the next couple days for more news. See you then. Bye, guys.